Brandon, let's turn to the execution control skill set. One of the first skills is impulse control. Unpack impulse control for us and link it to its importance and value in quarterback play.
Yeah, it turns out in all of our analytics, impulse control is the biggest predictor of interception rate in elite level quarterbacks. And so impulse control is really governing the impulse to want to act prematurely. So it's very easy to explain on the offensive line, impulsively jumping on a hard count, impulsively grabbing a jersey because you feel like you've gotten burned. But quarterbacks oftentimes find the impulse to throw prematurely because the read looks good right out of the right post snap, but they weren't patient enough to watch the linebacker cutting across or jumping, or they feel the pressure. Right? Third and long, we need a first down, I'm scrambling, and I just impulsively throw it. Not thinking about controlling that impulse to just throw it out of bounds, and then they get the pick. So it's that premature response.
Yeah, I mean, quarterbacks are poised to act, right? When they drop back, the goal is to, most of the time, throw the ball, react. And so they're already in this action state. And so many things can bombard their processing, their decision making, create pressure that leads them to react impulsively, kind of reflexively, throwing it into traffic. Tell us a little bit about the quarterbacks with higher scores on impulse control. What are some of the advantages that they'll experience?
Yeah, a lot of the advantages are just allowing things to develop just a little bit longer and fighting that impulsive urge. You don't obviously want your quarterback so rigid that they can't pull the trigger, right? We want some reflexive action, but you want to govern those situations, particularly when you know that it can lead to an impulsive action. So these quarterbacks tend to be able to govern and shield that system from just going, and they play with a little bit more patience.
Yeah, so what about the quarterbacks who may struggle in this area a little bit?
Yeah, low scores can oftentimes lead to those moments of frustration of a coach and asking the question, why? Why did you throw that ball? What did you see there? It just looked good. I thought he was open. He was supposed to be here. I guessed. Oftentimes that just ability to sort of monitor and govern that action, as you called it, sort of that impulse to throw, they just have difficulty governing that.
And this gets a lot tougher for the athletes who are a little bit lower on this, because as you go up the levels, the speed of the game increases. There's no such thing as a clean pocket, and so you've got this constant pressure and demand to act quickly. And so if you're low in impulse control, you definitely are going to feel that difficulty at times, that vulnerability in reacting too soon.
Yeah, not only that, but as you get up the levels, it's the defensive coordinator's job to create impulses, to bait you into things, to lure you into throwing to a certain location. So those athletes with lower scores are going to have difficulty with those coordinators that build that into their structure.